All right, moving on from one strong woman to another, I want to welcome our next guest, a CEO and founder of FundBLACKFounders. Welcome to the show, Renee King.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
It's nice to have you.
Thank you.
Tell us why it's so important to fund Black female entrepreneurs.
Well, it's a diversity issue, I have to say, why it's so important, right? We have to think about solutions, like when you have problems. Let's say we look at like women, right, and men. We kind of have different problems, correct? So we can't expect like a man to necessarily know what the right solution is to solve a woman's problem. Same thing when it comes to like Black founders and Black entrepreneurs. Some of the solutions that they're creating are specific to their culture and community to solve certain problems that they're experiencing. So it's important that we fund these founders so that they can like solve these problems in a bigger way. They can create innovation that can impact not only their lives, but also it can impact the rest of the world and the economy and everything that's going on. So it's really important if we want to see more diversity in the business offerings and we want to see just more diversity overall, and we also want to offer great solutions, we have to get the funding towards these founders.
Yeah, see, Renee, here are some numbers my producers found. According to Prosperity Now, between the year 1983 and the year 2013, white households saw their wealth increase by approximately 14%, but at the same time, Black and Hispanic households saw their wealth to decrease, actually.
That's correct.
Why? And most importantly, nobody's going to say that's right, and nobody is for it, but it still happened.
And it happened because entrepreneurship in our country is the backbone of supporting families, right? Entrepreneurship. But entrepreneurship starts with funding. Right? So if you typically don't have access to funding, whether it's banking, credit, where you're underserved in most of these markets due to different biases that go on, that's why there is such those data points that you see are going on as for like there's less Black entrepreneurship going on, the businesses are not flourishing, and these households, the wealth generation is not taking place in these communities. So we have to fuel, entrepreneurship is the main gateway to increase that number. And how we do that is we have to increase the funding because you need money in order to start a business, right?
Yeah, see, I agree.
Right.
Do you have some success stories from your crowdfunding?
So the biggest, we just launched in the end of January through Black History Month, right? And the biggest success is collectively right now on our platform, we have raised over 10K just for our founders, right? And that's just us launching right now. But other success stories that we're seeing is like one that's more relevant right now that you can know is the recent film that just won an Oscar, which is Hair Love. They started from a crowdfund, okay?
Yes.
This was a Black creator who wanted to show representation in hair, that it matters, right? He created this film. He went on and crowdfunded, got the money, and was able to launch this. And here we are. We saw that he won an Oscar. But bigger than the Oscar, then look at the impact that that movie did, right? There's legislation changes that are being happening around the U.S. because people are recognizing we can't discriminate against folks because of their hair. We can't be biased because of folks' hair in the workplace and things of that sort. And that started just from this Black founder deciding, I'm going to jump out. Even though I don't have access to funding directly, I'm going to go ahead and crowdfund and get this money and then go on and push past.
I always say when your why is strong enough, the how reveals itself.
Yes.
See, Renee, like nobody's going to say, oh, you should discriminate against whoever because of his or her hair color or shape or religion, whatever, right? However, in the real world, a lot of people would point out to the fact that, hey, for every Oscar winner, there are 10,000 films that aren't successful.
There are.
So why should they be funding this? How do you know you're going to be the Oscar winner? Because you don't.
You don't know if you're going to be the Oscar winner, but you have to operate and still go and push through on faith, right? Push through on faith. And also, you know your community, you know what your community wants to see, you know the problem that you're experiencing and how much folks it's affecting. So the beauty about crowdfunding is that you can literally galvanize your network, your community around you, which is what happened with Hair Love. Galvanize your community so as a collective, we can bring this forward. So that's, I would say, the best part about crowdfunding is.
I mean, in that case, would you call crowdfunding an American equalizer? Because you talked about the word, you said the word network, and network means who do you know, right? So if you, are from a more, let's say, affluent family, then
Yes.
you have a bigger network, then you have a higher
Yes.
chance to get crowdfunding.
Exactly.
So is that even an equalizer?
So it's not an equalizer just yet, right? It's on track to be. There are certain things that we just have to tweak, and it makes sense, right? It's working for a certain subset of founders, and what we're doing with Fund Black Founders is we're tweaking certain parts of it so it's a better solution for Black founders. Certain parts of it, like helping Black founders learn how to galvanize their social capital, that network, right? Whether you have to build it more, how you learn how to leverage it better. We're also offering culturally relevant coaching around crowdfunding, how to really put together an effective campaign, how do you find your backers. There's little tweaks that can be done to fix it so that it can be more helpful for Black entrepreneurs. But
What's next? What's next for you after the crowdfunding?
After crowdfunding, after our platform?
Yes.
Well, what's next for our founders on the platform is that once they successfully run their campaigns, we also intro them to angel investors and follow-on funding that they need, because we know this is a long journey of funding your dream, right? And our goal overall is just to open up access to these funding, to these networks that have the capital. And they're looking for this. Like, this is the emerging
Like
market.
Julia said, it's not easy.
It's not.
And there's people that have failed, but I think it goes back to your passion and your purpose again, that the people that you don't give up when your why is really strong, and those that didn't really, have that.
And the success rate actually for diverse founders and crowdfunding is pretty high. So, I mean, like, they're really doing numbers via crowdfunding. So don't think that there are folks who fail, but diverse founders are not trending, but like their data points are showing that, especially women too, who crowdfund, they actually do hit really successful campaigns. So go out and try it. Like, definitely come on to our platform, connect with us, because there's so much more resources to come, and we're ready to just open up access so you can get the funding that you need to start or grow your business.
And tell us the name of the platform again.
Fund Black Founders.
Funds, plural.
Fund, F-U-N-D, Black
Fund
Founders,
Black
not
Founders.
Fund Black Founders,
You hear
Fund.
that? Fund Black Founders, and that's what more and more investors should be doing, is fund Black Founders.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you. And